Srimatre Namaha, the divine blessings of our divine parents, Lata Mahatripur Sundari and Father Divine Lord Mahadeva. We are continuing to discuss the Sri Vidya Sastras. Today, celebrating the Vasanta Panchami, we will make an attempt to understand the very powerful names of Mother Saraswati. Before we do that, let's offer our prayers. Shri Kanto Matlo Janni Sarvamangalajan Kaha Shankaro Mahadeva Tvam Vande Gajananam. विमलपटी कमलकुटी पुस्तक रुद्राक्षसहस्रपटी कामाक्षी पक्ष्मलाक्षी कल्तविपंची विभासी वैरिंची मनोजवं मारुतुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयुतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि शिवशक्त्यायुक्तो यदि भवति शक्तप्रभुं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलस्पन्दितुमपि अतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कदमकृत पुण्यः प्रभवति ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. Today, the Vasanta Panchami basically celebrated typically 40 days before the start of Holi or Holika Dahan. Vasanta Panchami is celebrated across India as the puja of Saraswati Devi. And today we will discuss the very powerful Dwadasa Saraswati Namas that are very useful in our own transformation and equipping ourselves with the required knowledge that will continue to be the Bhukti Vidya before it becomes the Mukti Vidya. Bhukti Vidya essentially means that which continues to feed us for our material existence, which is quintessential. Only when that is fulfilled, our spiritual aspirations and needs will start getting fulfilled in Grihastha Ashrama. The Dwadasa Saraswati Namas start with, first I will go through the namas that would be useful for all of us. It goes as Pradhamam Bharathi Nama Dvitiyam cha Saraswati, Tritiyam cha Sarada Devi, Chaturdam HamsaVaahana, Panchamam Jagahti Khyatham, Sastam Vageeswari Tata, Kaumari Naumam Proktamastamam BrahmaCharini, Naumam BuddhiDathri cha Dashamam VaraDayini, Ekadasham KshudraGhanta Buvaneswari Buvaneswari. Very simply put, if we have to chant these 12 names, Dva Dasa, Dasa is 10, Dva is 2, 10 plus 2 is 12. It talks about the first one. Before this, we jump into the 12 names. The Dhyana sloka of these Dwadasa Saraswati Namas goes as Saraswati Tvayam Drishtva Veena Pustaka Dharani Hamsavaha Samayukta Vidya Danakari Mama. So it says, O Mother Goddess Saraswati, you are holding Veena, which is a musical instrument used in India, and which is compared to our backbone. The kind of sound it makes essentially is compared to the power of speech that we have. Veena Pustaka Dharini. Mother is holding pustakas and Veena in her hand. Hamsavaha Samayukta. She is seated on top of Hamsa. Hamsa is a bird that can, when you give it milk mixed with water, it can drink just the milk and leaving the water aside. Essentially, like Krishna, who would go to the gopis' houses and steal the butter, which is very much there in milk, but when you're looking at the milk, you can't look at the butter. So when a Hamsa is drinking the milk diluted with water, it essentially is extracting all the good essence, and whatever is diluting the good with the bad and evil, it continues to leave. So Saraswati and all the divine elements and powers will continue to look at what is good in us and try to leave and eliminate the bad in order to progress us on our spiritual next. Vidya Danakari Mama. In third slokam of Saundarlahari, we talked about avidyana mantastimira mihira dvepanagari. Avidya essentially means darkness, right? And that darkness, Mother Lalita should shine the light upon, just like on a dark island, as the rising sun shines very bright. That's the third slokam of Saundarya that we discussed, which essentially blesses us Vidya. In this specific 12 namas, we are saying Vidya Danakari Mama. Oh Mother, you bless me with that brilliant light that emits out of your body and the white sari that you are draped in. With that, the 12 namas start with first namam is Bharati. Bharati essentially means, my Guruji always used to say, Bha essentially means that Swayambhu light, okay, which is self-sufficient, self-illuminating, self-radiant. Bharati, the guna, the attribute in us, to start longing towards God and the divine, and to understand the energy that continues to drive us, that energy that continues to drive us to know who is standing behind our eyes and making us watch the world, is called Bharati. The curiosity, the anxiety to understand what is this thing called God, what is that Bhagavan, what is that Bha Tattvam, which is self-illuminating and self-radiant? If there's anything, any material portion you have, there's a center of gravity. If this whole cosmos, which is full of material, exists, there should be a center of this universe who is ensuring that universe and the cosmos continue to function in absolute harmony with each other and each thing. That power is called Bharati. And this Bharati Tattvam essentially is the Rati. Manmada's wife's name is Rati. The power to long for something is what we generally call Rati. Bharati means when you are longing to find what is that self, the ball of light that cannot be differentiated with a gender. It probably is addressed as it, from which everything else derives, that universal set from which everything derives, but it's the most abstract thing. The love, the anxiety, the curiosity to know that thing is called Bharati. So if we are chanting and wanting to know about Saraswati, the first name is Bharati, which means if you don't have the interest to walk towards the divine and Sanatana Dharma, you will never even make the first step. That is the Bharati Tattvam. So when we say the Sringeri Guru Chandrasekhara Bharati, Bharati Tirtha Mahaswami, Vidushekara Bharati, by taking their darshan, we will get infused with the love of God. It might start with some as fear of God, then turning into respect for God, and then becoming love of God. So Bharati is the first name, Pradamam Bharati Nama. Dvitiyam cha Saraswati. Saraswati means that which flows. You might have a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but if you are not able to speak, that means the knowledge that is sitting in the different folds of the brain is not getting connected with the Vak Siddhi or this power of the speech. So the energy that flows in you and me, and therefore helping us translate our thoughts into words and sentences, is what we call Saraswati. And this Vak Siddhi, or this power that ensures flows like a current does, is what brings us the continuity of thought and sentence and the speech power. And the third one is Sharada Devi. Mother Sharada Devi, if you have been to Sringeri, you will see Sharada Devi is playing a veena. And when that energy, like a current, is flowing, the thoughts are flowing and therefore need to be get converted into speech. The thoughts flow using the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is essentially the veena that Saraswati is playing in the spinal cord. We discuss in Lalita Sahasranamam, Para Pashyanti Madhyama Vaikari. If you and I need to speak, the thought needs to come from a super consciousness. It needs to enter our spine, just like the signal enters from the satellite into the dish of our house. Before that signal is carried to the set-top box where it is decoded, and therefore the TV or the screen is able to display the signal in a video and audio format. Similarly, in Para, that super satellite, which is the mother, she is relaying the signals. As it enters, the spinal cord becomes, Muladhara Chakra spinal cord becomes Para, enters us, becomes Pashyanti. And in the spinal cord, at the bottom of the spinal cord, the set-top box is there. The signal is getting decoded, And with our fuel of the prana, what happens is that goes and ignites this decoded signal to come to the vak, this chakra of the Vishuddhi chakra, which is the vak center or the power of speech. When that comes here, the decoded signal, it starts transforming into the words and sentences in a language of our choice that we are attempting to speak in, that is being blessed and enabled by none other than the Sarada Devi, because she is playing the veena, which is our backbone. And the fourth one is HamsaVaahana. When you're speaking, she's watching whatever word is coming out of your mouth. Are you using your words to make someone? Are you using your words to break someone? And when you are the HamsaVaahana mother is wanting you to swallow the bad you are about to say that might hurt and break others, and only continue to give words of hope, confidence, faith, and making them in order to go to the next level. See, when Jambavanta came and spoke to Hanuman, Hanuman forgot about his curse and became the Maha powerful Chiranjeevi. And therefore, at the end of Kishkindakanda, when Sundarakanda starts, Jambavanta comes to Hanuman and reminds him about the curse that the rishis have given with Apara Karuna. They were not angry. When the baby Hanuman had all the powers, he did not know what to do with those powers. Therefore, they cursed him, saying, you will forget about these powers until you will have the real need. And that is the time when Jambavanta reminded him once, one and done. A lot of devotees think that, Hanuman needs to be reminded every time. No, that's a complete lie. It was done just once, and then Hanuman was reintroduced to the supreme energy that is latent in him, because of which he could cross the ocean on the south of India and go to Lanka and take the darshan of Mother, which is a super secret set of secrets called Sundarakanda that talk about the Sri Vidya Sahasram that we'll discuss, in future shlokas as the context comes, right? HamsaVaahana, then Jagahti Khyatham, the one who is basically using her or his words to make others and not break, they will continue to get Jagati Khyatham. They'll become famous. You look at the great orators who actually bring the spirit, like a Mahatma Gandhi, Vivekananda. They became Jagat Khyatya. They became world famous. When Vivekananda addressed, my dear brothers and sisters of America, in the World Congress of Religion in the 1800s, the world, he left the body at 32 years, just like Adi Shankaracharya did. But today, in 2025 on Vasanta Panchami, we are thinking about that great Mahatma. That is Jagat Khyatam, right? Similarly, we have a Hitler, we have a Ravanasura who used their power of speech to break. Therefore, we remind them, we remember them with disgust and disrespect on how not to be. So Jagati Khyatam, popularly famous for positive things. And then Vageeswari Tata is the sixth. Sastamam is sixth. Vageeswari, Vak plus Ishwari, Ishvara and Ishwari, the Ishvara Siddhi, the power that moves when the Shiva doesn't move and is inside enjoying himself as the Dakshinamurti sitting alone. He is the Ishvara. When mother comes and sits next to him, she makes him Kameshwara, she becomes Kameshwari. That Ishwari energy, that which moves the whole cosmos, just like we discussed in the first slokam, Shiva Shakti Ayukto, without the energy, even Shiva is not able to move his little finger. This Vak Ishwari, therefore Vagishwari, who is enabling the speech and all the humans that are able to speak, is essentially blessing you and I to use the word to make others Vak plus Ishwari. And this Vak plus Ishwari, when it's coming out, it's making others' life, others' spirit, others' hope. When you invert it and start doing dhyana and mantra mananam, it starts making you to climb your spiritual staircase to your spiritual north. Vak plus Ishwari. And this Mother Saraswathi, who actually commanded the Vak Devatas, Vasinya, the Vak Devatas who were given as the Lalita Sastam, Arna Devi, Kameshwari Devi, Molni Devi, Jaini Devi, Nalini Devi, Vasni Devi, Kameshwari Devi. These are the 7 Vagdevatas that basically have given Lata Sahasranamam. Chanting their names every day will also give us the fluency of speech. Kaumari, the 7th name is Kaumari. Kaumari is the feminine form of energy from which Subramanya or Kumara was born. Kaumari Devi gives us the strength, vitality, and energy in order to restore our strength in the body and therefore continue to become confident with the power of the speech. And when you have the power of speech, you can chant mantras. When you can chant mantras, you essentially are inviting a lot of Brahma Shakti or the Kumara Shakti that will continue to keep you young. You see, many of the sadhus continue to live for hundreds of years. For example, my guru, Devra Baba, lived for a documented 400 years. If you look at Living with the Himalayan Yogis by Swami Rama, there's a chapter called Ageless Yogi, which documents the first president of India, Babu Rajan Prasad, went with his grandfather and met Devra Baba, and he became president of India and met, and Baba remained at the same age. That's what happens to people who pray to Saraswathi, which is a form of Lalita that is draping the white sari, Kaumari. And the next namam is Astamam BrahmaCharini. She enforces the rules, disciplines in us to follow the Brahma Acharana, the schedule that will get us introduced to the Brahma in us, the God in us. Therefore, walking from a Dvaitam, God and I are different, to understanding God is very much there in me, and I need to walk that path in order to discover the God, the divine within me. And the BrahmaCharini Namam, which is the Astama Namam, essentially talks about Shiva's name. His number is 8, Astamurti Tattvam. BrahmaCharini is also the Astama Namam, where she allows you and me to follow the schedule that is prescribed by the Vedas in order to discover the infinite Brahma that is in us, very much in this finite body. And that's what this BrahmaCharini Namam does. And Namam BuddhiDathri, she continues to infuse our knowledge and wisdom to ensure that we continue to remain deeply rooted in the Vedas, Puranas, and Sanatana Dharma, therefore not getting diluted, not getting, oscillating between maybe I should do it, maybe I should do it for the benefit of doubt and confidence. Right? Rather than the benefit of doubt, she firmly strengthens the foundation. So our buddhi continues to become strong, and therefore we continue to walk the path of discovering the Brahma in us, following the BrahmaCharini Namam. And then this BuddhiDathri, she continues to be the fountain that ensures incessantly flows with hope, confidence, guidance, and direction. The 10th Namam is VaraDayini. As we continue to do that, she blesses us with different varas. Okay, what are the different varas? We start experiencing certain miracles in our own life. Whatever you're speaking will start becoming true because you start getting the Vak Siddhi. Whatever is going to happen in future, you will start getting the power of intuition to predict and know things. And as you start realizing these, not because it's a secret, because you're following the schedule and rituals that are introducing you to the spirit in you, the divine spirit in you, which makes you spiritual, you start getting the clarity of thought, and therefore you can read and learn. One of my Guru Bhais, this was probably in the late 1990s in one of my trips to Himalayas. There was a German visitor, a devotee of Baba who visited, and one of my Guru Bhais who was a very advanced um, Guru Bhai and practicing advanced techniques of yoga, Kriya Yoga, and Dhyana. Suddenly, he started talking to one of the German devotees who came in German language. And I was amazed. This person could not speak in fluent English. How could he speak in German? After the German devotees left, I asked Guru Bhai, who was very loving and kind towards me and taught me many, many yogic kriya and dhyana techniques. So he told me that he was using his conscious to reflect on one of the German devotees' consciousness, therefore using that language to talk to the other German devotee who came, but he did not know the language. And using this person in between, he was also translating it into the language that he understands, which is mostly Sanskrit and Hindi. That was the power. I was amazed to understand even these things are possible, but I have witnessed them firsthand directly, right? And there are many, many, Mahatmas where you can witness this. This is my own experience. I was not dreaming. I was fully awake and saw this happen. And such things happen multiple times. So these are the varas that she enables in the devotees as they start getting to the higher levels. Then the KshudraGhanta. So Mother KshudraGhanta, these are some of the names like BrahmaCharini, Kaumari, are the Matrika Namas. We also use them in the Durga Navaratris, right? KshudraGhanta, anything she has basically a ghanta that when we are ringing the bell made of, essentially bronze and brass, which continues to create vibrations that will dispel all the negative energies that don't belong to us, that continue to cause us to slide down in our ascension or our ascent to our spiritual up north. KshudraGhanta ensures that as we are blessed with varas, we are not using them for the wrong use because they can get very slippery. And therefore, she will continue to protect us by constantly ringing that bell, which will keep all the negative energies at bay. This is the reason every day in our homes when we do puja, we have to ring the bell, by offering the arti to the god or the dhupam to the god or showing the prasadam. What happens then is, as we say in the puja, Uttishtantu Bhuta Pisachaha, we say Bhutas and Pisachas. Bhuta is essentially the constant haunting past that all of us have. Pisacha is the constant anxiety of the future. These, let them stay at bay and let me be in the power of now, which is what meditation dhyana talks about. Be in the now, be in the present moment. And that's what KshudraGhanta does. And then Dwadasi Buvaneswari. Once that happens, you will understand how you are connected with this Ishwari, whom we discussed earlier also as Vageeswari. Now, that Vageeswari who became VaraDayini and KshudraGhanta in insulating you is connecting your energy, your finite body with all the cosmos on how she shows you moksham in sukshmam, how in your finite body the whole cosmos reflects and how you reflect in the whole cosmos. Therefore, having the name Bhuvaneshwari. What are the 12 names again? The first name is Bharathi, second name is Saraswathi, the third name is Sarada Devi, the fourth name is HamsaVaahana, fifth name is Jagahti Khyatham, the sixth name is Vageeswari, the seventh name is Kaumari, the eighth name is BrahmaCharini, the ninth name is BuddhiDathri, the 10th name is VaraDayini, the 11th name is KshudraGhanta, the 12th name is Bhuvaneshwari. Those who chant these 12 names will get a great clarity of thought and therefore clarity of speech. And learn these 12 names, continue to chant. These are very easy. I'll put in the description as well. So you can chant, share it with everyone in the family and your loved ones, and let everyone discover the Ma Saraswati in them in order to invoke the divine knowledge and tap into that geyser that can continue to flow incessantly, therefore blessing them with all the materialistic pleasures and all the spiritual pleasures. Stay blessed. This is a brief offering at the feet of our divine parents on this Vasanta Panchami day. Mangalam Guru Shri Chandramauleshwarage Shakti Ganapati Sharadambige Shankaracharyanige Kala Bhairavage Kali Durgige Veera Sura Hanuma Maruti Charanage Mangalam Guru Shri. Stay blessed, and we will meet in the next.